Quick disclosure, I am not a professional at reviewing games. These reviews are made from my personal experience with the game that was played on the channel. This is all my opinion, and I realize that it's not the only one and that it might be disagreed with, which is fine. That is why I recommend you to purchase the game so you can draw your final conclusion. Now, let's start the review. Starfire Studios' Freedom Fall is a diabolical, down-scrolling platform set in a prison tower so tall it touches the clouds. Presented with a hand-painted art, its old-school vibes mixed with fast-paced, free-falling action and a story with both dark wit and heart. With the promise of freedom for those who escape, find your way through the traps and mechanical monstrosities set up by a twisted princess who you'll wish was in another castle. As you bid for freedom continues, you start to see that things aren't quite as they seem. In the end, you'll determine who is guilty and who is innocent. But until then, there are lots of death traps to avoid, killer balloons to bounce off, jetboards to ride, and even a dragon to fight. Right off the bat, I'll start saying that Freedom Fall is beautiful, fun, and I truly enjoy their style. The inside of the tower looked great, especially with the appearance of obstacles, and the exterior of the tower was equally as impressive as the interior. And the music for the game was great, definitely set the mood for the levels, giving exactly as said before an old school vibe. The main objective is to get out of the prison that is a high tower, and the only way to get out is by falling down through the levels. As you go through the levels, there are writings on the wall that are written by the princess that present the true story to the game. However, because I was recording this and I was trying to go as fast as I possibly could, there were some moments where I would either not be able to read what was written on the walls because I would move too fast, or I would accidentally skip over them because I did not notice them again for the same reason of trying to go too fast, which gave me tunnel vision. But with that being said, when I did manage to read the writings, they were mostly witty and made me laugh. The game itself was short and was completed within the time span of an hour to an hour and a half, which for my personal taste, I tend to like games a little longer than that. Freedom Fall is a down platformer that starts easy but gradually becomes very difficult with more elaborate traps through the progress of the levels. There are even moments that in the higher levels, or in this case, lower levels, that I would have to take the easy way to complete the missions. What I mean by that is Freedom Fall gives you the option whether to take the easy, hard, or sometimes in some levels really hard portion of the level. As I said on other reviews on the channel, I personally use a controller whenever given the option, and this is exactly what I did for this game, which for me handled really well. Like I said in the presentation portion part of this review, the story was too short for what I usually like game lengths to be. As a result of that, there was not a lot of boss fights throughout the entire game, with what I think were only 2, which is very little for my personal liking. However, the ones that were in the game were fun and difficult if not maneuvered precisely. Starfire Studios' Freedom Fall is a beautiful, fun game that established an old school vibe with its music combined with the hand-painted art. Not only that, but as the game's level developed, they became more difficult as to progress, but in most occasions, nothing impossible. Although the game is really short and had an extremely low amount of boss fights, the story is still witty and its own dark humor. Freedom Fall gets an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the review, leave a like, comment down below whether you agree or disagree with the review, and tell me why or why not. Subscribe to the channel to watch other reviews, the full playthrough for this game, and there are other awesome games that I've played on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time with another review.